Welcome back to my Lobotomy Corporation bedtime story reading. This is Hitori, and I'll be helping you fall asleep with some ambient audio and awesome OST from our favorite game, as I learn more about Lobotomy Corporation's abnormalities. In the last video, we read about Mountain of Smiling Bodies. This time, it'll be Big Bird. This is now the 63rd abnormality in Lob Corp reading. Check the entire playlist on the card on the upper right of this video. Let's begin. Big Bird O-02-40 is an abnormality in the form of a big, round, black, featherless bird with arms instead of wings. It has 17 visible yellow eyes, though it's implied to have at least 47 in one of its flavor text codes, and a sharp beak which contains pointed teeth and a second smaller beak inside. It holds a lantern with a wick of its melded feathers inside it. Ability. Big Bird's ability will trigger when its Qliphothr counter reaches 0. Its Qliphothr counter can fluctuate in the following ways: increase by 1 when getting a good work result, decrease by 1 when getting a bad work result, decrease by 1 each time 5 employees, including clerks, die. Doesn't count death by execution bullets. Once its Qliphothr counter reaches 0, or emergency level 2, second trumpet, is reached, Big Bird will breach. When breaching, the current department where Big Bird is located will enter into a blackout. All the hallways and rooms will go dark. With 1,600 HP, Big Bird will wander the facility and use its lamp about every 20 seconds to mark either a clerk, 40% probability, or an agent, 60% probability, with the lowest max HP in the same department, enchanting them. This mark is a yellow circle that will appear above the respective employee, and it will turn red after Big Bird shakes its lamp. Employees with the mark will receive reduced damage. Yellow 0.5, red is equals to immune. After about 40 seconds, or 2 lamp shakes, the employee with the mark will be possessed and lured to the Big Bird's location. All clerks and enchanted employees, both yellow and red, are in front of Big Bird and will be killed instantly. Big Bird's eyes will turn red before it opens its mouth wide to decapitate the employee. During this attack, Big Bird will gain immunity to damage. If the enchanted employee gets out of the blackout department before they get possessed, the mark will be removed. The mark can also be removed by entering "We can change anything," though employee is still going to die, or the shelter from the 27th of March. If the camera is focused on Big Bird when walking, the screen will shake and will be unable to be moved for a short moment. If all of the employees in its department are dead, Big Bird will continue to wander the facility. It tends to seek out and move towards enchanted employees. Big Bird has a max work count of 0, making them unable to be affected by Qliphot's meltdowns. Story: a large, many-eyed bird that patrols the dark forest with an everlasting lamp. Unlike regular birds that lack wings and has long arms instead, with which it can pick things up, Omitted would stare intently at anyone it found, young or old, and bite their head off. There is a tale of a beast that lies in the deepest, darkest part of the forest, who dazzles creatures away, never to be seen again. To protect all creatures from the beast, the big bird burned all of its feathers to make a wick, and then made a lamp that would burn forever. With this eternally lit lamp, the big bird wandered the forest, warning the creatures to not stray too deep into the trees. Thanks to the large bird, fewer creatures fell victim to the beast in the forest. However, it was still concerned for the creatures still being killed by the beast. An idea struck Big Bird's mind. If I kill the creatures first, then no one would be killed by the beast. Since then, only rumors of a beast that would bite your head off flew around the dark forest. It is said that the beast carefully examines and stares at its victims to see if they are the beast that lures helpless creatures away. This is a tale from a town in the location redacted area. We heard the tale from the town's oldest inhabitant, redacted. Although there is a general assumption that the tale was told to prevent children from entering the forest, it is uncertain who first inherited the tale. We can't do anything while the abnormality has its eyes open. It stares intently, and as it keeps staring, Omitted. This is why we need to put it to sleep first. We can only begin working when all of its numerous dozens of eyes have entered into slumber. And it turns out that the tale was not made up. We could find this large bird in the forest. Right after that, we tried to look for the beast that dazzles people. We searched through every nook and cranny of the forest, investigated every single creature in detail. A month later, we came into this conclusion: there was no such beast in the forest, except for that big bird. This abnormality is completely ignorant of the common perception of death. The abnormalities that reside in this corporation can be placed into two different categories. The first category is those who understand perfectly well what the concept and meaning of death is. and will attack our staff with the intent to kill. The second has those who are aware of the concept of death, but attack without malicious intent. This abnormality we have contained here fits into neither of these two categories. To this bird, death in itself is salvation. If it just ripped off the head of a poor little girl who got lost in the forest, to it, there was no mistake, malice, or murder. It thinks it's just saved the girl from the beast. Trivia. Big Bird has been reworked since the legacy version, receiving minor changes to its appearance, a new portrait, and gaining a default animation. Big Bird, Punishing Bird, and Judgment Bird were the first abnormalities that could cause an entirely new abnormality to appear. Big Bird will escape when other abnormalities are out in order to try and save employees from suffering at the hands of other abnormalities by killing them first. Big Bird may be inspired by the German-Austrian mythological bird Nutcrab, a bird that is said to eat or kidnap disobedient children that wander too deep into the forest at night. It is sometimes depicted holding an oil lamp. In Norse mythology, this creature depicted with empty eyes that when looked at cause certain death. Quite honestly, Big Bird and Judgment Bird being wow abnormalities are a little wild for me. I feel like they kinda deserve to be Aleph abnormalities because they're kinda problematic. But then again, I guess their HP is not that insane. They're actually, manageable to suppress rather than Aleph abnormalities. But the fact stands still that they are still very problematic if they breach. I feel like whenever Big Bird and Judgment Bird would breach, it's a little bit difficult. Especially if you were just starting the game and you just caught these two birds. It's a little bit hard to manage. But anyway, let's focus on Big Bird. For me, I really think that this bird could be an Aleph. Considering that when it comes out, the department where it is at, becomes all dark. It's like a special thing that it does. So, I'm actually quite terrified of the Big Bird, especially now that I currently have in my facility Big Bird, Punishing Bird, and Judgment Bird together. Also considering I have Mountain of Smiling Bodies, which will also come out whenever there are dead bodies, just like Big Bird. So, I have all the trouble in my current facility right now. But concerning Big Bird, just for me, when he reaches, I just get all of my nuggets out of the way. I moved them to another department just so they are not going to be controlled by Big Bird and be eaten. Sure, the clerks might say goodbye already after he comes out, but at least I could still save the lives of those that I can control. But yeah, I'm still terrified with all of the birds that I have. But I must say, if they were just inside their little cage, they look really cute. I like collecting the birds here. Even the firebird. I like the firebird, it's beautiful. But then I don't want two escaping abnormalities just out of nowhere, just like the punishing bird. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, this is a very cute abnormality. A very nice ego weapon, ego suit, and ego gift. Aside from that, I'm terrified of it, but it's a manageable bird. It's cool. Now, if you have tips or interesting details about this abno, please comment about it down below. If you like, you can also catch my stream on Twitch and here on YouTube so that you can assist me if you're a veteran in the game. If you want more Project Moon content from me, please don't hesitate to like the video. You can also support me further with my Patreon. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I'd like to thank my current Patreon supporters that are shown in the screen, as well as my Twitch subscribers. I want to always let you know that I appreciate everything you do for me. Surely, this thanks is also extended to you who's currently watching. Anyway, until next time, I hope you rest easy.